Okay, this is the turntable platform that was built for Noises Off at by that was put on by Magic Valley Repertory Theater at the Orpheum Theater in Twin Falls in November of 2017. I built this platform as a 20-foot wide by 8-foot deep platform. You can see it's approximately 3.5 inches thick. I did it as sandwich type with a 2x4 framing with 30 seconds tongue and groove decking on top, and then 7/16 OSB on the bottom. The casters, you can see when I set up for this, when I set it up for the for Noises Off, were fixed on the platform so that it would just pivot around a center point. You can see here that I've cut it in half now, just to make it easier to move around and to be able to get it in and out of the theater a little bit more easily. The reason why I'm filming this is to just in case I'm not the one that's working on any of this going forward, that somebody will be able to have some documentation of how the construction was put together and what are maybe some of the what you need to know in order to put this together. So I'm going to try and document each section as we go along. What I'm planning on doing is we're going to keep the center where here you see where the cut was made. I'm going to patch in each of these gaps a new 2x4 framing underneath there, and then we're going to do some cutaways on the top side. This is the bottom side, of course, that you're looking at, but we'll do some cutaways on the top side that will actually be access panels for where the linking bolts will be, that will go between the two different platforms here, and then eventually across the wings that'll come that will complete the circle around each of the ends here. So what we're going to do to start this off is we're going to get from our center line over here on over here, our center point. We're going to take that and trace out where our curve would actually drop right here, so that we can cut that out, and then we'll use, depending on the thickness of it, I'm thinking that it'll take about a foot off of the end here, just from what I've been able to estimate, and we may be able to use just like a 2x10 or maybe even a 2x8 to make that curve right there to complete the framing on it. And we'll do both sides, and then we'll do the other side over here. Of course, first of all, we have to get off all the casters here. When we actually install this in the theater, we're going to actually trace out all of the spots for the circular areas, and actually fix the casters to the stage surface, so that the platform will sit on a center post right here in the middle, and then we'll just pivot around, floating on each of the individual casters as it goes around. And then we'll also be covering this OSB with 1/4-inch underlayment plywood, and sanding that down real smooth so that as it rolls across these casters, that it really reduces the noise. And hopefully, because we'll use flooring adhesive to actually fix these together, besides besides just stapling them. It should add some rigidity to the platforms as well. One of my big concerns with taking the casters off of the platform and putting them on the stage surface is you can see you've got hollow gaps in between here, and so you run the risk that if you have a load on top of the platform and that platform is moving around, if you don't have really good strong structural support, and you've got a heavy load, let's say like a post point that's not sitting on top of one of these 2x4s, and that rests on top of one of these casters, you potentially could have those casters pushing up into the sheeting material, causing some damage. But the hope with the 1/4-inch plywood is that if we have those cemented together, then that's going to add some additional strength and actually make this OSB board a part of that plywood. So and then we'll be able to get it smoothed down really soft and really smooth to make sure that goes that as it's turning on these casters, it should work really well. I have additional casters coming that'll actually cover the wings as well. The wings will go out about 6 feet from the edge here, and complete the circle all the way around, so that we should have at the end of this a 20-foot circle that we'll be able to install for the last 5 years. We may be using the same set for or a slightly modified set for Sweeney Todd later in the year, and then the hope is that this becomes the permanent turntable that we'll install on the Orpheum stage and do a stage build up around it, so and have this as an automated stage so that everything can operate right off of it. So pretty neat stuff. I'll try and get each of the pieces along the way so that so that if anyone in the future is working on this, they can see exactly how the construction is put together and where things can be adjusted and moved. So we'll go from there.